Hello, this is Robert Martinez, aka Bobby, for TE 924D, Spring 2021. Professors Ginsberg and Weissy. Today's date is 3/3/2021. We're looking at When Lying is Okay, an English lesson in 3 parts. The context for learning in this class is 8th grade English cluster class that meets in a block schedule every other day for 90 minutes at Lewis Middle School and Allied Gardens in the San Diego County Union School District in the east of the city towards La Mesa. There's 2 tracks here, cluster and seminar. The seminar is the more advanced, high-scoring group. Gates are in that class, but not as high-performing. And then there's the cluster, which have the GATE kids, but also has 5 IEPs and 7 ELLs, along with 8 GATE students. The English curriculum focuses on academic writing skill development for close reading comprehension, supporting ELLs as they progress. It's almost evenly split between Caucasian and Latin American students, about 15 Asian students as well. That generally reflects the breakdown of the neighborhood area. The area is largely suburban, lower middle class, with about 30-40% students bussed in from other areas. This unit, When Lying is Okay, is focused largely on reading comprehension, an analysis of authorial style and their arguments, summarizing and crafting an argumentative response. At this point in time in the class, the students have progressed through the unit on When is Lying Okay. They've already covered 2 author sources and are familiar with the academic vocab related to those. They'll have written summaries and opinions in response to each author and the unit. And the point of this 3-day lesson is to cover the Kant article and respond with a 1-paragraph summary and a 1-paragraph opinion response. This isn't not the final product of the unit, which is to address the topic in a multi-paragraph format, focusing on putting text in conversation with each other. This is a formative assessment analyzing one source along the way. The students at this point of the year can, with some moderate to some difficulty, verbally and in writing, locate the argument of a text, identify genre, rhetorical elements, write a multi-paragraph response to a text, and use quotes from it, and think critically about how a work is made and why, and can fashion a thesis statement. They can make one at this point. So they've come a long way here, and they are kind of solidifying these skills, moving towards putting text in relation to each other in their final product. The plan meets the EdTPA central focus. It focuses on analyzing text and the methods involved, such as note-taking, searching for usable text references, exploration of ideas. They're analyzing, comparing, and contrasting, gathering sources. They also ask for a summary and opinion, which is a response to a text of high complexity. And that requires close reading and reflection, and interpretation. This is supported by scaffolding in the documents, graphic organizers, and differentiation of interaction with material, vocal and written response during lesson and group and individual work. Creates a formative assessment writing project that interprets, analyzes, and responds to a text with references and syntax. It involves summary and opinion in a low-risk writing situation. So this is a formative, not summative, evaluation, and they are using skills they've learned along the way, and the reinforcement of organizing and using resources and references to craft a response. Here's the standards addressed, broken down by reading and writing and speaking and language use. The activities covered, actually, I included a lot more of the collaborative elements. And then for the reading and writing, a lot of the standards are focused on comprehension and analysis of complex texts. The objective for this assignment is for students to read, understand, and respond to a complex text by summarizing its main ideas and its thesis on the topic of ethics of lying, and forming their own opinion in response to the authors. I should note that the author is the author is not Kant themselves. They just refer to Kant's work in quotes and discuss the complex ideas. But there is text from Kant quoted in that article. The assessment is going to be a 2-paragraph response to Kant's selection of at least 5 sentences per paragraph. Suggested order on the graphic organizer with language prompts included will include the following for each paragraph. So paragraph 1 just kind of goes through Kant's work, explains the connection, introduced a specific reference, explain the reason author uses to defend the opinion, and how you think the author used language to convey its message. Paragraph 2, state your initial response to the text, introduce a specific reference, example to which you had response to, write why you had the response, and write your own opinion on the topic and why you have it. The rubric for this is accessible here on the Google Drive. I will bring it over and put it in the notes for this submission. So here is the criteria for success. I may try to make it as easily broken down and as clear to understand as possible, using color-coded variations and large groupings of text, so they was not all bunched up into a small space. And exceeding 5 points, meeting is 3 to 4 points, and needs developing is 1 to 2 points. The exceeding category refers to the material in a detailed manner with more than one reference to the text. The meeting gives only one reference to the text in an accurate and comprehensive way and uses transition words. Note that the rubric for the exceeding must meet all requirements of the previous criteria of other levels. Each paragraph is more than 5 sentences, is above and beyond the meeting. Organization follows suggested order that builds upon it with more information. So they take the established scaffold and build up on it to expand it out, is how they show exceeding. They meet the scaffolding and follow directions, that's meeting. And if they do not use any pattern or are inconsistent, don't relate the ideas, that is needs developing. There is the second page for elaboration and evidence and elaboration. Multiple correct references to source that makes sense. Paraphrases or uses quotes. Uses text in multiple ways to support ideas. So this is really the expansion above and beyond the minimum 5 paragraphs or 5 sentences per paragraph. The meeting has a correct reference that provides relevant and specific evidence, supports the claim in different ways, and the idea makes sense and uses grade level vocabulary with some varied syntax structure. So the exceeding must meet that before they do any of this to get credit. And then the needs developing is poorly connected reference, ideas are not in line, does not support ideas, mostly short sentences, does not use grade level vocabulary. And conventions, no errors in spelling, capitalization, grammar, punctuation. There are some minor errors for meeting, and many errors for not meeting at all for needs developing. All right. Text complexity is an article using a Kant quote to discuss his ideas, so the text itself is not as complex as Kant's. However, it discusses complex ideas and makes them simple for the reader. Using various sentence length and grade level vocabulary, I provide 2 examples here for us that you can read, and the complexity is listed at a 10 on the Flesch-Kincaid, which is like low 8th grade, and then the Atos returned 8.7, which corresponds to about the same. And the Lexile was at or below grade level for this one. The day by day. So day 1, we play a truth-lie activity, truth-lie, which highlights the ethical question. They reflect on the outcome of a game in a free response. They are introduced to the ethics of lying by Cicely Bach, the author, and give their first impressions of the text by following specific instructions on where to skim and how to respond. The teacher checks in-class responses to ensure that skill is used and response is accurate. The teacher reviews the academic vocabulary needed for moving forward on this text. They're going to write the word and definition in T-chart, then work together in groups and collaboration to create examples of the word used correctly in context. Then the teacher reviews and gives them feedback. The teacher close reads the article with the class. The class fills the existing prediction chart for all sources in the unit. So they have a chart working up in the unit already that makes predictions on each assigned reading, and so they'll fill in that section. The teacher close reads the article with the class. The teacher annotates along with them as she annotates, and the students do it along with the teacher as they do on the screen, and checks the annotations to make sure that they're doing them for understanding. Teacher introduces the main assignment and goes over the rubric with any questions, and then providing the graphic organizer for the first paragraph of the assignment, modeling it, and then filling it in. They begin to work, and the teacher helps, and then they are to finish it for their assignment. Day 2, they are getting into groups to warm up and share written responses from homework. They make suggestions on how to improve on each other's. The teacher checks it's been completed. We then move on to the critical thinking activity, augmented, getting inside the head. Students are given a worksheet with 2 empty heads on it, and they write Kant's thoughts about what he wrote on one head, and then their own thoughts about the opinion, about their opinion, and his writing on the other. This sets them up for the opinion response in the second paragraph. The teacher provides students with the graphic organizer for second paragraph, the opinion, and reviews it, modeling responses and addressing questions. The students reread the text, this time looking for key phrases or words that will help them improve how they respond. They highlight these. Teacher provides in-class time to revise summary paragraphs and start the opinion, helping individuals as needed. They're both due together at the next class. And on day 3, students come in and get into groups. They check everything's been completed, make suggestions on how to improve. They work together to discuss the result of the group activity, which is to assign a grade with a rubric. The teacher oversees the groups and looks at the grades to see which ones are kind of being given, and then gives feedback. And the students are then free to start drafting their final, staying if they would like to be able to continue. Here's some scholarship. I noted 2 from Gallagher and 2 from Latimer and Campbell that encourage collaboration, encourage deeper meaning when rereading, low stakes writing, conferences, and wanting students to write essays that show close reading of the text. Academic background. They'll need some background knowledge, which has been provided in previous units regarding philosophy of ethics. They may still be struggling because of the complexity and putting the information in context with the other sources. They require background with lying itself. This may be a difficult thing for people to address. They may have been hurt or hurt someone. They may be uncomfortable. And they will need background knowledge in writing a thesis opinion, which they've gotten in class, but still may not be solidified. And here is the academic vocabulary: absolutist, self-exile, vitiate, and mortal for this particular article. And thank you very much for your time and consideration. I appreciate you viewing my presentation. Have a great day.